Michael with Puppers Corner, and I'm here solo today. Have a few topics to go over and kind of come across. And bear with me, I'm going with no. Normally, I do an outline, and I'm just going off the hip today. So here recently, I wanted to talk about a topic that near and dear to my heart, and it kind of goes back to some of the problems we have with overflowing shelters and abandoned dogs, and that is embrace your dog's weaknesses. I'm going back to, I went and visited my sister a couple weekends ago, and she had recently rescued cutest little dog. It is part red heeler and part kind of looks like some kind of shepherd mix. But anyway, she wanted a dog to she lives out in the middle of nowhere, and she kind of needed, her other dog had ingested poison and had died, so she wanted a new dog to, warn her when people come around because she lives out in the middle of nowhere, and it's helpful to have a dog that barks when someone pulls in the driveway, things like that. Companion for sure. And so she rescued this dog, and she was saying, she's got chickens running around, and she goes, well, she doesn't mess with the chickens, and she doesn't chew up too much, and she doesn't dig, and tell me all the good things. And then she says, but she jumps up on me and has all this energy. And she goes, I think I'm going to take her back. And she said, I don't know. I think she's had her a couple of weeks. And I got to thinking about that and didn't say anything at the time, but it's like all these things that are positives that would work for her, and one thing that maybe if could spend a little time with her could solve the jumping up problem. So I immediately, when I got home, sent her out some links to some podcasts I've listened to on how to get your dog to stop jumping on you. So hopefully that helps, and that dog stays right where she's at. And so I just wanted to go through some of my dog's annoying things, I guess, if you want to say it that way. And then, but I will never get rid of the dogs. And most of the time when someone says, oh, my dog's so annoying, it does this. If you reflect long enough and are self-aware enough, you'll realize either you're not spending enough time with them, engaging with them, getting their energy out, or stimulating their mind and wearing them out physically, or you're just not. They just don't know any better. So I will go down the list here. So Molly is our 7-year-old lab, and 99 times out of 100, she's the best dog ever. You slap a leash on her and start walking her around the block, and she turns into a pulling monster beast. So that is her thing. And I've tried different collars, different consistency methods, and she's gotten better, but she still will regress back to that pulling where she'll pull. And we'd have harnesses. I can't put her just on a regular collar because she's going to hurt herself. So we do use a harness, and people told me, you can't do that because they'll just pull that much more. Well, I'm going like, well, yeah, but we got to keep her safe and keep her from pulling on that. And her neck gets really tight and sore when I used to have her on a regular collar. So, and then of course they can hurt their trachea if they pull like she does. So anyway, but we work with her and love her anyway, even though my arm is so sore when I get done walking her. And then there's Jackson. He's a 2-year-old lab, the sweetest dog you ever see. He is very good with obedience, except when he really, really, really doesn't want to. Several examples of that is if he sees a squirrel, sees a rabbit, which, that makes sense. if he will not come to me when there's a rabbit involved or a squirrel involved or anything like that. Um, or cows. We visit my in-laws' place, and there's cows on the back fence. He will take off chasing them. So I have to keep him on a long lead and or in a crate when we visit the in-laws. So that's an issue that we have with Jackson. So I'm working with him, and he's very obedient and follows commands. And we just got to keep plugging away with him. He's 2 years old, so he doesn't have tons of bad habits. So we just need to keep working with him and get over that. And then, of course, we have the 10-month-old pups, Beagle litter mates, females, Zipper and Scout, and they are a mess. They're fun. We enjoy them immensely, get tons of joy from them, but they are mischievous. So we cannot, and we got to get a baby gate so they won't go upstairs and then shut all the doors, because if they're inside and not in their crate, they are, let's go down the list here. Toilet paper rolls strung through the hallway, combs chewed up, laptop chargers chewed up. Thankfully, they weren't plugged in at the time. They were just sitting on the counter there. Let's see. Pretty much anything you can think of, they have done. They go upstairs, knock the trash over, dig through the trash. In our upstairs is a game room and a bedroom and a bathroom. So they go in the trash can in the bathroom, knock it over, and just go to town. So we had a baby gate, and then they figured out they would just keep working on it, and finally they knocked it over and got over it. And so I haven't got a new one that is more secure and is not as easy to get out. But I have a feeling that if they kept working on it, that they could get it and escape. So that's their issues. They definitely aren't as easily trainable as other dogs. But it's all in your perspective. They give us a tremendous amount of joy. I could focus. People get negative focused. So you can focus on the negative things your dogs are doing, or you can focus on the positive joy they bring to your family, the things that they do well, and reward that, and train on the things that are bothering you. Like, for example, the Beagle pups jump up on people. They're shorter. They want to get some love, so they will jump up on you. So some people don't mind that, and other people don't like that. I don't particularly like it because they're just the right height where they put their little claws on your belly and scratch you. So, excuse me, that can be unpleasant. Excuse me again. So I'm training them to not do that. Other people don't mind it. If you have our 85-pound lab, if he's jumping on you, you can do they can injure you. So depending on your dog and what you want, the habits that you don't want, you can train. Work with them and be patient. Too many people want the perfect dog. And if everything's not perfect and they're not spending the time training them, I don't know what they expect. They go, I'm going to take this dog back. He X, Y, and Z. I go, how long do you work with him a night? Training. And I get a blank stare. I'm like, well, you do realize dogs need to be trained. They don't just naturally know not to jump on you or not to dig or not to whatever they're doing. By the way, the beagles like to dig. Our backyard looks like the moon. But we accept that because we knew that going in. That's another thing. Research your breeds before you get a dog, or if it's from a pound, typically the shelter organization or the rescue organization is going to know, for the most part, what breed it is, and then go online, look around, find out the traits of a breed. Like, for example, beagles. For example, beagles, they love to dig. And that's just, we knew that going in. They're also escape artists. They're also can be hard to train. So we kind of knew that going in and accepted that. And we love them to death. I wouldn't trade them for the world, even though one of them, if I'm not, it can't see me at night, will start whining and wake the whole house up if it, and we'll continue in her crate. And we're working with her on that, and we've tried different things, but so she has to be see me while I'm sleeping, she's sleeping. If not, she whines. So, but I can some days I'm sleep deprived, um, but I know that, and I love her, and she's perfect. So if we can take the perspective of focus on the positive and kind of work with the negatives in that, and know that life with the dog's not all fun and daisies. And if you know that up front, you can be prepared so that you're not in a month going, oh my gosh, this dog, I got to send it back. Now, I do understand there are certain situations where maybe abuse, or maybe you didn't know what breed it was, or maybe it's just way over the top situations. Okay, I get it. But for the most part, you're committing up front before you even get the dog that this is going to be our dog, and we're going to work with it and keep it no matter what. So if you come in with that mindset, you're less likely to give that dog back because you're committed to that dog and your relationship for the long term. For if it's a rescue and you don't know how old it is, you don't know how many years that's going to be, but 12, 14 years when you have a puppy, you're knowing that that is going to be a member of the family for the next however long they happen to live. So I'm going to get off my soapbox now, but I feel like if people would commit up front, know that the dog's not going to be perfect, that there's going to be times that you want to pull your hair out, take a deep breath, remove yourself away from the dogs for a while, and when you come back to them, train them. Spend 5 minutes a day working with them. And you'll be surprised in a short amount of time, you can solve a lot of the behavioral problems or manner problems. So that we talk about having a well-mannered dog. That's the basics would be sit and stay or wait, depending. Those are two different commands, but I use wait a lot. So I have them sit and wait. And then I said, okay, that's when they can come to me. Comes into play like when people come over to the house, they get all excited and they're wanting to jump. So I make them sit and wait. The puppies don't do it, by the way, yet. But the two older labs, they get all excited when certain people come over and they get to being rowdy. So I'll make them sit and wait. It's just because we spend time with them working on that. Sometimes it don't work. They get so excited they can't contain themselves. We're okay with that. We'll grab them and put them in the backyard if we have to. But just know that this dog thing is not easy sometimes, but it's well worth it. There's studies out there that humans live longer when they have dogs. They're healthier. They're more social. If you're out walking your dog a lot, you get to meet a lot of people and other dogs. So there's the benefits of dog ownership far outweigh the negative aspects. And there's going to be some. So just prepare for it, own it, and love your dogs. That's all I got to say for this week. I'm kind of running out of stuff to say. No outline and just shooting from the hip. Enjoy your dogs out there, and see you next time.